Hello, and welcome to my podcast, I Survived La Chancla, hosted by yours truly, Carmela. Welcome to my show. I want to introduce y'all my guest show host, Shona. I've known her since the 30s.
Oh shit.
I was kidding. She knows a lot. She's cool. So, welcome to my podcast. This is my second episode, so I really appreciate it. Okay, so so I want to remind you that every Friday, my episode will be dropping. A new episode will be coming out. So if you want to check it out,
Yeah, now if you want to just check it out.
go, run. So it'll be out every Friday. Check in with the pendejadas that I'm up to. Every Friday be the day. Amazon and Spotify. It will soon be on Apple as soon as I pass the requirement. I can't pass them yet, so that's soon coming, and YouTube también. It'll be coming. Don't forget, you can hit me up on my podcast channel on Facebook. Chancla Survivor on Facebook. So go check me out. You can leave some feedback on the show. Let me know. I don't know anything.
Search it. Search it. Not chancla survivor. Right?
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
on Facebook.
That's what I'm saying. For them to search it.
Yeah, Chancla Survivor, spelled CHANCLA Survivor. If you're old school, okay, you're good.
Okay.
If you're old school, you can leave me an email at chanclasurvivor0@gmail.com. So y'all can send me your nosy neighbor letters, or if y'all want letters, like they're fucking writing something in. I mean, email. If you got a nosy
Yeah,
neighbor,
that's really awesome.
I know. If you got a nosy neighbor and you want to share a story, some crazy shit that they did, or you interacted with the crazy ass neighbor, I would like to hear about it. I have a lot of stories. I am the nosy neighbor, girl. Hi, I'm your nosy neighbor. So I got a lot of stories. I know a lot of details that I shouldn't know.
Yeah, you are the nosy neighbor. Then. Like our moms. My mom, girl, we had blinds, right? And she had it exactly the way she could see through it without anybody from the outside seeing that somebody was looking from the inside. And sometimes she'll be like, "Yeah, did you see what they're doing over there?" And I'll go and be like, "Boop," and she'll be like, "No."
My mom
She'll
would
turn
be-
off the lights and everything. And then it was so, my mom knew everything because she was home all day. She knew all the neighbors and everything. And I'm just like, that man that's married to that lady? And I'm like, who? The one with all the kids. Which one?
¿Cuál de
Oh,
todas?
yes, girl. She had those blinds to the T, girl.
Girl, we had this neighbor in the neighborhood where I grew up. It was like a lot of family and stuff, but on one corner, right there, donde estaba, like right there, she could see all the streets, right?
Yeah.
And por su ventana,
She had a good spot.
every time she would come talk to mama, pues ahí por mi ventana, yo miré. Yo no sé si es verdad, pero yo miré. And she would like tell my mom a whole story. I'm like, dang, lady. And talk about the husband left. y que
Hey, I'll
vino,
be like, I'm a good listener. ¿Qué pasó?
It was
What
like
do you know about that one over there?
I know. She would have told you con una tacita de café, girl. She would have told you all of it.
Oh, I need a neighbor like that.
It was the nosy neighbor of the neighborhood. Yeah, I used to go to school with her granddaughter too. And
Did she
but
ever spill any tea on her daughter?
no, of course, just everybody. She would always say, "Ay por mi ventanita, ay yo miré por ahí mi ventanita." I'm like, you were at the door, you were everywhere.
Yeah, sometimes you can't help but be nosy. These people be loud
Uh,
too.
Girl, that song, La Vecina Me Puso el Dedo. I was like, we lived at some apartments, right? And I was like, if anybody's gonna put the fucking dedo, it's gonna be that bitch. I already knew which one. I wasn't doing anything I shouldn't be doing, but I just didn't want.
They goes on and sweeps.
Oh yeah, fucking sweeping the grass.
Let me go throw the trash. Go play outside so I can go watch y'all.
For real. That's what we saw. A cop. Oh no, I had walked out, and there was a car. I saw the car because it had no lights. I mean, the lights weren't on, and they just went real slow into a parking spot. And like 15 seconds later, here comes a cop right behind it. So I was like, "Oh, this fool's up to something." I never saw the guy get out of the car, but they were searching for a guy running from the car. There was nobody in the car, and I saw the car right there, and I was like I never saw the dude come out, but he booked it, and they were looking. They had helicopters, they had everything. They never found him. And so somebody tried claiming the car, and the cop didn't let them have it.
Oh wow, that's a dumbass
Right.
trying to
I
claim the
was
car.
like,
You
I
want to
think
go? You
they, I
want to
don't
go to
know.
jail?
I don't know if he said like they stole it or
Oh,
I don't know what the story was, but right here por mi porche, ahí en mi porche.
while you're in the corner
Hell yeah,
too.
girl, I miro todas las buildings and I'm like, if I had time, I would be peeping on these bitches, but I don't. I got my own shit to worry about. I got my own shit to worry about.
I'd be like, if there ain't no action within 5 seconds, I ain't interested. That's not entertaining.
I can be at home,
Yeah.
inside. I mean, so
Back
as
on track.
back on track. I know we got way. So yeah, go check me out on Facebook.
Claudia.
I know. CHR.
We're gonna go for about a year from now.
Okay, so we're gonna start off. Last episode, I talked a little bit about where I was raised and how I was raised. With morals and values. That's what I like to keep on like with my kids. Like some of the traditions my mom did. My mom, she couldn't afford Christmas a lot of the times. Because she was a single mom, but my dad helped her out. But she did it by herself. Because physically he wasn't there, but financially he was somewhat. Anyways, but some
Oh,
of
you
her
had a dad?
traditions. They're- I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm gonna cry. I wish I could give you mine, but I don't have them either.
Oh,
We could
wish I
we
could
could have
have had
shared.
it.
So like some of the traditions that she did would be like Christmas. Whenever she couldn't afford to get us something, she would put it in our stockings.
Oh
She would have
yeah.
a little piece of paper and it would be in her handwriting. And my mom's handwriting is so distinctive, man.
I owe you.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, it said
Oh
it
shit.
was like this entitles you to a pair of your choice of shoes. And I already, girl, I had these.
That's nice.
Yeah, so
She
whenever,
couldn't like afford it at that moment,
yeah,
but she was
so
gonna get it for you.
yeah, it's like a ticket to come back, get your shit
Yeah.
later
Yeah.
when I get money. But that was like, I thought that was so. That was like, what I'm saying, like thoughtful. She didn't have to do that. She
Yeah.
could have. We
She made
understood.
an effort
Yeah,
to.
she made an effort, and so it meant a lot. And I like to do that. Like my kids are already getting to the point where they don't, yeah, they already know. They're figuring it out. I mean, they already figured it out. Más falta el chiquito,
Yeah.
little.
It
Um,
gets boring after that, right?
yeah, it does. Like I've done it all. Like the cold thing también. When Lisa acted a fool one year, girl, we didn't give her nothing. We gave her cold. Like literally, girl, I was crying on the inside.
And laughing at the outside.
No, girl, I was like that. I was crying on the outside. I was like, oh my God, I was breaking on the inside and I'm dying. And I felt bad, right? But I had to teach her a lesson. She was like really bad off the hook. Like,
What was her reaction?
nothing. That nothing.
She was just like,
And then,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so I thought, okay, I wouldn't want to, like, she knew she wasn't going to have presents from Santa. So she only had presents, like, from my aunt or whatever. So, and she wanted to give out the presents. And I'm like, Isa, I don't think that would be, like, why would you want to, like, knowing she's not going to get that many. And, well, she didn't know. I guess she didn't, I don't know.
She didn't
She was,
believe it.
but yeah, she was just giving out the presents and not one emotion. Like,
Because
not,
she prepared herself
I think,
by giving out them gifts and seeing that none of them belonged to her. She was already preparing herself, girl.
yeah, I guess.
She was preparing herself by
Yeah.
knowing that, by checking the presents before anybody, that she wasn't gonna get none. Yeah, I think she's been lista, girl, because she was looking through the presents, giving them away, preparing herself, and she realized, oh, I ain't getting nothing. That's why you didn't get no reaction out of her.
It was crazy. It was crazy because, like she was, but she was off the wall. Like she was literally telling us, I don't care. We told her, Santa's not gonna bring you no toys. I don't care. My papi's gonna buy them. And I'm like, your papi? I was like, man, no, he's not. I was so mad. And she was just straight up like, she didn't give two shits, like nothing.
¿A quién se parece?
So I was like, no, man, I gotta teach her something. So we did. I mean, it sucked, but she knew now. Like she now she tells us, she'll be like, hey, Santa brings you coal. She's lived through experiences. Damn. How old were you when you figured out Santa wasn't real?
I don't remember, but I know that I was asleep and I saw my mom and I think my stepdad or my aunt or somebody. They were sneaking in with the gifts,
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like looked over there and I was like, what are they doing? And we really didn't grow up with Santa,
Oh, yeah,
honestly.
didn't.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, okay. See, that's a
Yeah, we
tradition.
were,
I didn't
yeah,
know. I didn't know.
nuh-uh.
Okay, I just assumed all Mexicans did.
We did like halfway, I guess. It was like not a thing for us. It was a sin, like, because we
Oh,
were raised like Pentecostal, old school way. So that was el diablo. No, I'm
yeah,
kidding.
I wasn't the
Yeah, yeah.
other.
But I mean, there was a certain phase where we did know Christmas. I guess it was in school
Yeah.
about Santa. Because I still remember, like in fourth grade or third grade, we wrote letters, and they came back from the North Pole, and they were like cold. That was pretty cool. I actually believed in Santa that moment.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. So what did you pass on to your kids?
I did the Santa thing.
You did?
Yeah, the Tooth Fairy.
Mexicans do not do tooth fairy stuff. But I
I grew up
told
with that. The Tooth
really,
Fairy. Yeah.
man, like whenever my little one lost his tooth, like I was telling his dad like, hey, we gotta put money. He's like, for what? I was like, well, the tooth fairy. He's like, who the hell's that? I
Yeah,
was like, she
yeah,
comes and takes the teeth.
yeah.
And
No, but my girl, these kids nowadays, they don't want no dollar for their teeth. They want like $10, $20.
Mijo was grateful with his little
So
dollar.
that's too.
I tell him I was like, hey, put it in a Ziploc bag so I can fill it. So I have to dig for a damn tooth. And then they'll be like, hey, the tooth fairy didn't come. Damn, tooth fairy must have fell asleep.
Yeah, yeah, because I forget too.
I forget all the time.
One time I had my kid do it like, I don't know how many days in a row, girl, because I kept forgetting. But they probably didn't maybe they're on vacation or they're just not doing it right now. Just be patient.
Dang. Well, you know what I do with my kids? The tooth fairy comes, like, even when there's no missing teeth. For Christmas, I mean, for Halloween, like, they'll go trick or treating and they'll get all their candy. And when they come home, they'll put it under their pillow. And the tooth fairy comes and gets it. And then she'll leave them candy every night if they act good.
Oh,
But
that's a
well, the
good
tooth fairy
idea.
forgets sometimes. And so the candy will be put up somewhere. And later on, 2, 3 months, we're looking at the fucking bag of candy.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that helps me not have to
Control.
argue
Yeah.
and all that. I'm like, look, dude, the tooth fairy, that's just what happens. And those kind of things those are traditions I started myself.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good idea, actually.
Because it was always, oh my God, you're so mean. You don't let me have my candy. And I'm like, did we not just go get fucking cavities on your shit? And you were crying.
Do you want that?
You swore off candy, and now we're back to this. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember I did that. Just little traditions. My mom's like always like hot chocolate, Christmas time, hot chocolate,
Yeah.
galletitas, just the cookies. My grandma used to make some badass cookies, man. Sugar cookies. None of us, I don't think any of us actually took the time to get the recipe from my grandma, so I think we're all fucked.
One thing that I did take upon myself to learn was to make tamales and pozole.
And you make some damn good tamales, girl.
I my
I bet I
grandma.
needed to see your pozole so I could say it.
I make the green and the red one, the chicken one. I remember my grandma and my tias because I had 9 aunts, 4 uncles. So they would go to my grandma's house and they would all be making the tamales, and then we would be helping sometimes because there was a shit ton of us there. And it was nice. Like it felt so nice just walking in there, cold outside, and then the smell. Oh,
I love that
girl.
smell.
So it slowly kind of faded. I still have a picture of the last time that my mom was here and my grandma, and they were at her house making tamales.
All of them.
It wasn't all of them, but it was probably like 5 of them there.
Um,
It was probably the last time. 3 years before my grandma passed, I was like, I'm gonna make tamales, and I tried to do it. The first year, le faltaba sal. She's like, you're gonna put this much salt in there. You might think it's a lot, but it's not. Like, okay. The second year, I made some. She tasted it, and she's like, you need to put more manteca. Manteca is oil, right? She's like, you might think it's a lot, but that's what keeps them moist and good, because they were dry. Girl, the third year, she was like, I was like, I'm so proud of myself. Now I think I'm a pro.
well, you are a pro. Remember you came over to my house and we did tamales?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I was happy because nobody makes them in my family. We're a big family, but nobody makes them. Nobody. And
Yeah.
so Sarah, my daughter helps me every year. She helps me. My sisters, like I'll tell them, I'm like, sí, pero ya want to come tragárselo,
Right.
right? Yeah, all that work and no, but if they can, they will. And then last year, one of my cousins, they made some in their house,
Yeah.
and they called, like she called and asked. I would have went, but I was also making some,
Oh.
and I was like, oh, because I want to like one day like just have a lot of them come over, and then all of us just work on the tamales, like
Hmm.
how my grandma and her daughters did. Like that's something that I would love in the future. Or have like a class of tamales with my cousins and their kids and stuff,
Yeah.
just to keep the tradition because it's so life gets so easy. You just go buy some and that's it,
Yeah. Well, and the whole thing is the
The
making, the
bonding,
bonding.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We bonded. We bonded that day.
yeah.
I ended up on the floor
They were
going,
good,
remember
girl.
when I fell back?
Yes, you almost dropped the whole thing. The filling, the carne, everything. I was like, oh.
They saved the tamales, but I wasn't saved. I fucking fell back. I don't even know what the fuck I was doing.
I don't know.
Not making tamales, but she makes some badass tamales. Like,
Mm.
man, they're fucking badass. And they're not shiesty any either. Like somebody else's, we're not gonna say no name.
Hey girl, one year I have a cousin that he'll reach out to me around November and he'll be like, it's that time of year, the tamales, right? So he'll be like, I don't like to sell them because it's a lot of work. And I'm like, shoot, $15 ain't enough for them dozen for me. It
Christ,
is a lot of work. I
10.
know. And he's the one that's like, charge 15. I was like, that's still not enough
No,
for
they charge
work.
20 now.
Dang.
They charge 20. Well, last time we went to go get a docena, we got a bottle of docena that was 20
And
bucks.
not all of them taste good. Like some
No,
of them. And then mine, no matter how hard I try to make them little, they always come out big. I'm
hey,
like,
that's
damn.
good.
So he every year he reaches out to me like what's up? And one year I remember usually I will sleep that whole night, girl, doing them, and I fell asleep and the water it started burning a little bit, and he was gonna go that morning to pick some up for him and his in-laws because they were waiting for the tamales. I was like, dang. I said, well, they taste kind of char. I made them kind of char. Like the way y'all gonna do them anyways in the fire pit. Toast them. But they already taste like that.
No need to toast them.
He was laughing. He was like, they were good still. Like, all right.
That's cool. That's cool. You do make a badass though. You do.
That's one thing that I want to give to my kids is that just the cooking, I guess, because
Yeah.
that's a big thing in our culture is cooking.
Yeah. Food.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm like fourth generation Texan, so I didn't realize how non-Mexican I was until I got married to a Mexican. I was like, wait a minute, what is that? Like, I told my mom, I said, Mom, we don't eat Mexican food, Mom. She's like, yes, we do. I said, no, that is not how you make enchiladas, Mom. Girl,
That's what got me too was the damn enchiladas.
and I still love them like this. The yellow tortillas, ground beef, roll them up, put them in the pan, wolf chili on top, and then cheddar cheese around it. Put it in the oven. Good girl.
Yep.
I I would be ashamed to do something like that
Oh
to a
yeah.
Mexican person.
I know. Girl, I did actually. That's how I was doing my tamales, and the neighbor was. She had came in. She's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Tamales." She's like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Wait, am I not? I mean, this is the wrong way to do it." But she was from Mexico, and I
Yeah,
wasn't. So they're very different. They're both delicious, but they are very different.
yeah, yeah.
Not even a little bit the same.
So my mom's like,
Let's
but
stop calling it
I
Mexican.
learned how to cook like authentic Mexican food. So I want to take that to my daughter too. So every chance I get when we're cooking, she's in there with me.
Mm.
Tortillas de harina, girl, shoot, that's a must if you're a Hispanic.
Oh yeah,
You ain't no Hispanic if you didn't grow up with tortilla de harina, flour
man,
tortilla.
girl.
I didn't know what corn tortillas were, girl, until I was old. And now it's a must at my house again because my husband's Mexican. Like we have to have the corn tortillas there. Me, it was nothing but homemade flour tortillas. I've been knowing how to make them things since I was young.
Yeah, yeah, we all had to learn. Well, I used to watch my mom. She never really taught me. I learned as an adult, but because she always did it for me.
Yeah.
And I guess she would be like, it's easier to do it
Yeah,
myself
yeah.
than me calling
It
out.
is. Shoot,
I would call for a
quita
recipe. And I'm like, so how much did you say for? And so, are you sure I put it before or just bring it to me?
Girl, now they got that instant one. Let me just
Oh, you know what? It's like, but there's just some things you have to like make from scratch. Tortillas being one,
yeah.
tamales, another one. You can't buy tamales in a can. What the fuck is up with tamales in a can? Who eats that shit?
I have never had that.
There's
That's curious.
menudo in a can, pozole in a can. That is
Pozole
disgusting.
too. Oh
Yes,
yeah. I
girl.
wonder how that tastes.
I would. I
I'd be
don't.
scared of all that sodium in there. I ain't
I
gonna
know,
lie.
girl. It's all processed. Like, oh shit. That's just like, and then it's been there. Like
Yeah.
you don't know how long. I'm sure it's been more than a week. And
Yeah, yeah.
that is crazy.
Months because it has expiration date still.
Oh, that is crazy. Well, I was the queen of buying expired food. Not buying, be given from Metro Crest. So, hey, if we got one day or two after, hey, you still good. Now you stomach start hurting. Hey, don't be complaining. Okay, you had something to eat. Yeah,
Did you know about that? It was in the
yeah.
house right there.
Yeah, yes, that's what I was
Girl,
talking
when she
about.
got home.
That's how the kids were too. The oldest ones, they know about that Metro Care. They know where the eggs and all that shit. Like, look, one day we're gonna.
Yeah, and when I
Wasn't
got
bad.
older, I donated. They're not there no more. I think actually that they are at the bad. I don't know.
Yeah, they're working with another mission, another mission
Okay,
thing or something.
because they were from the first Baptist.
Yeah, they don't. They're not there no
I
more.
always donate, two for five or whatever.
Mhm.
So I was like, man, I remember they had a lot when we needed it.
Well, Metro Crest too. That was one for us, and we like if it wasn't like I really depended on that, because it was just crazy, life was a bit, and so I afterwards when I got my shit together and everything, I didn't need their services anymore, and I started couponing. I went and donated like 40, no, like 70 tubes of toothpaste and all kinds of like
Oh, that's
conditioner,
nice.
like everything, like
Yeah,
shampoos and everything, and
hygiene
just
stuff.
yeah, I went and left because I remember there was times when there would be a couple of things on the aisle. I mean,
Oh
on the
yeah,
shelf, there'd be like cool, like expensive.
yeah.
And now I was able to give back, and it made me feel really good because I didn't abuse the system. Like I did not. If I didn't need it, I wouldn't use it. Not for school supplies, not for Christmas, unless I really needed it. And which is it was only a couple years, till I had.
I
Huh?
want some damn food
Oh
stamps.
yeah, no, yeah, 100%. I would do it.
What
I
I gotta
did.
say? What do I have to do? Just give me some food stamps.
Now they're giving you insurance. Like if you get food stamps and stuff, you can get insurance. You can get Amazon Prime. They give you girl cell phone. Right when I don't, I'm a little upset. I'm still hurting from that. Having to pay full fucking price for groceries is a motherfucker. Especially when you're a couponer. God, girl, it's just like, do we really? When I'm in the car before I go grocery shopping, I usually like to go alone because I like to cry alone. I'm not having anybody. So I'll sit outside the car and I'm just like, really to survive. Because I hate when I buy shit and they don't fucking eat it, and I'm having to throw away strawberries that got mold, or like ham that they didn't eat, or roast beef that went bad, or some shit. And I'm like, damn, dude, like, damn, you're lucky I'm against giving you rotten food.
Girl, I didn't know. Told I did not know that. Like
There's
because
no.
where I used to work, we had a store, and we would get a big discount, like $1 for a 4 pack. And I was there for a long time, and then you started couponing, and you were going hardcore on that. So
Yeah.
you were hooking it up, and then when you stopped, when you were studying for your test, I had to go, and I was like, "Where's the $3 packs? Like the $2 packs, girl?" I was like, I said, how bad do we need this? Before I thought volteándole and shit, the roll. And now you're like, why are you using so much toilet
I know,
paper?
right?
Number one or number two, like you do not need that much toilet
Put a big one in the restroom, and then
paper. Made a double roll.
yeah, a double roll, and then so there he's asking, he's like, they just came and got some out of our restroom. So like, what, they already finished that whole pack? And I was like, what? And then they're like, I got dude wipes. I got dude wipes. I got dude wipes. I got dude wipes because the fucking toilet paper's going
It
bad.
don't look like it.
I know. Can you use your dude wipe? But yeah, that like you said, go buy some
Go get
Huggies.
some Huggies.
And put the perfume. Damn. Let me ask you this: you, as growing up, and it's crazy because me and you are both like we're both Hispanic, but yet we've grown up different, like really different. Yes, I mean, but yet kind of similar.
Yeah.
It was like when you say you went to the Pentecostal. I remember going to Pentecostal church, but I had this ugly feeling. Like I just did not want to be there.
Diabla.
I know, right, girl. I
Los
hated
demonios,
it,
girl.
but it was a feeling that I would get. Like it was, like not fake, but I guess kind of. I don't know. Like it wasn't real. So my grandma made us go like every Sunday. you didn't fuck with my grandma Sunday evening trying to come over and eat and shit. If you didn't go to church on Sunday morning, you better get the fuck away. Like, no, don't even do that shit. So of course I went because of my grandma. And if you had to go on Wednesday when they didn't have Sunday church, oh man,
yeah.
gotta be in the fucking, oh my god. So my grandma made us go, and I remember my best part, the part I was always waiting for. En el pueblo de Dios dice, girl, I'm hauling ass. Amen.
Amen.
But I'm not that big. Well, come to find out, a couple years later, the pastor that he was arrested for molesting a child. Look at that. That was that fucking vibe I was feeling. Like some.
Always those one people that will take advantage of their position. Even
Oh
now,
yeah.
there's teachers, there's
Oh,
politicians, there's lawyers, counselors. They, when you have power over someone vulnerable, which is a child, that's always gonna happen.
it sucks that coming to that because
Yeah, aunts, uncles, older cousins, parents, even, you know.
yeah,
It's the person that's doing the wrong. It's the person
yeah.
that's doing it, you know. And I mean, it's sad, but that's how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't justify their race,
Mm-hmm.
their religion, their culture. It's just that it's the person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all choose to be a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, and they give into those things, and instead of seeking help, or maybe they didn't know. I don't know. I don't even.
I think a grown ass person, like a grown ass person, especially somebody who already has a family and has, like what I'm saying, you have a house, you have your family, and you still go and do that. I believe that you are able to come out and reoffend so easy that they're everywhere. Like
Yeah.
and it's sad that it has to be another kid, another victim,
Yeah.
in order for the justice system to be like, okay, this fool needs to be behind
It's a
bars. Like okay, an addict when they're gonna stop, there's always gonna be a relapse. There's gonna be a relapse, right?
trigger. Yeah.
And so if say an addict, relapses or whatever, they're hurting themselves. But when a reoffender relapses and relapses, there's a victim. Like, and that's sad, because another person has to be
In
affected.
time. Yeah. But they're gonna do it again.
Mm.
Either
Oh yeah, yeah,
either
yeah,
if
most
it's not
definitely.
physical, it's gonna be watching or doing or whatever. But it's gonna be something. So it's like to me when they're like, oh, he's rehabilitated.
Mm-mm.
Bullshit. In his mind, he ain't. You can't control the mind,
Yeah,
the desires.
yeah.
You can't, like, most of the people that do that, they will say themselves, I know that I'll do it again.
Yeah, I've heard that.
None of them have ever said, I never have that desire in my life again. I am 100% rehabilitated.
Oh, well, yeah,
When it comes to that, not
yeah,
addiction.
yeah.
Addiction is a whole other thing, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of opinions on that, and I don't know if you even
That's
want to go through that. We'll go through that right now.
it's a lot to take in, especially for a kid, especially when it happens but there's a lot of stuff like, okay, I grew up a typical, household, whatever, and it was like, how do I put it? A lot of stuff being pushed under the rug, like not saying, but it's about not just about this. It's about anything. You're giving up for adoption, or you weren't born into this family. You were given into your adoption, or whether this may
Your
not be your
grandma
real
raised
dad. Yeah,
you.
your grandma raised you. Whatever. That's a lot. That I think that's traumatic. That's a traumatic experience to some people because it was a time in their life. If it affected you in any way, like really deep, what I'm saying, where you're still having effects as an adult, I believe that there's way more than there actually like on the numbers. Like so many more. This is so more common than you would actually think.
Yeah.
And in jail right now, the women in the women's unit, 80% have been sexually assaulted in some form as a child or an adult.
Mm,
Isn't that sad?
yeah.
So you got 20% that's lucky that
Yeah.
did not get anything happen to them,
Yeah.
and that's fucking awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad. I wish it was more. I have a friend who's never like been affected by this in any way. Like she was in a home where like she was like really overprotected, and then when she left there, she went straight to her boyfriends and made her husband. I mean her husband now. So she never really like was she.
Had trauma like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. She's never had trauma. Um, we're going to go ahead and end this segment with the nosy neighbor segment, which is, hi, I'm your nosy neighbor, where I have a story and I will share it about one of my crazy ass neighbors. So, this story has to do with one of my neighbors, and she was a little cuckoo. And She was actually got drunk off of my liquor. Didn't even know it. This bitch was sneaking in my house while I was in my house in my back room.
I think I know who it is.
Getting drunk right off my liquor. It was my birthday. And so I came outside, and this is one that just fabricates lies, 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 lies. Nobody believed her for shit. But she was talking. She came out. She was looked like she was pretty tipsy, and I'm like listening to her. She calling me, not me names, but she said a derogatory name toward my one of my kids, and I don't know, man, what happened. Next thing I knew, she was on the floor, and I was like, "Hey, girl, do you need help getting up off the floor?" She was kind of upset or whatever. I don't know what happened, but anyway, she was on the floor, and so she got up. She called the cops.
Oh my God.
So she called the cops on me. And so I'm like, I don't know what happened to you, dude. I just like literally saw you standing there and then you were on the floor. I don't know, you must have slipped or something. I don't know what to tell you. And so the cop comes and he was like, what happened? I was like, look, sir, she was on the stairs. She said a derogatory term to my son, and next thing I knew, she was on the floor. I don't know what happened. I can't tell you. And so he goes and talks to her, and he's all like, so what did you have to drink today? She turns around, looks at me. She's like, what are we drinking? Like, bitch, we ain't drinking shit. She was like, well, I've been going to your house and making me a drink. Excuse me?
God.
So this bitch was drinking my shit. You know what I'm saying? Causing trouble for my
And call the cops on
and
you.
call the cops on me drinking my liquor.
That's her drunk ass fell.
Yeah, her drunk ass fell trying to blame it on me and shit. The fucking cops, they checked my hands and everything. I was like, man, I don't know what to tell you, man. This dumb bitch fell. You know what I'm saying? That's just karma. Instant karma got her ass. But yeah, she's a whole different breed.
Wow.
Whole different breed. This is the same girl that was telling me that she was gonna go inside and make dinner for her kids and that she had to leave me outside and all this stuff. Oh, okay, well that's fine, whatever. So I go inside my house. I get a knock on my door. 15 seconds later, oh no, she goes inside talking about she's gonna make spaghetti. 15 seconds later, I get a knock on my door. Hey, do you have any spaghetti? Like, bitch, who's making spaghetti? I think me. Damn, but I did get some good recipes off of her though. She did teach me some guisos. I'll tell you that, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know. Anyways, so that's my story for my nosy neighbor. Thank you for listening. Again, I really appreciate it tuning into my second episode of I Survived La Chancla. We shall see y'all next week. I want to thank you for being on my show. I really appreciate it. It meant a lot to me for you to come. So I really appreciate it. So don't forget, leave me some feedback on the show on Facebook, Chocolate Survivor on Facebook.
Yeah, and think about leave us a comment. Leave her a comment on maybe one of the reasons that you got the chancla thrown at you, maybe whether it's funny or something. Like I would love to hear stories about a memory that you remember. Not like people like I guess middle aged people. What is a memory that you remember when you got that chocolate thrown at you? What
Did you
do?
learn?
Yeah, what did you do?
Did you learn your lesson with that chancla?
What was the outcome? Spotica TED Talk. I am a therapist.
She has cheap rates.
Yes, I will help.
She's gonna be a life coach. All right. Well, again, like I said, thank you, Jonah. I really appreciate it, and we'll see y'all next week. Se bañan, se tallan y se toman el agua.
Bye.
Bye.